Have you guys ever played the PlayStation 4 and just wished that this controller had a bit more space to fit your hands around and to feel a bit more like one of these Xbox One controller? The dimensions are very different, and have you ever done that? Have you ever wished that you can play your PS4 games with the Xbox One controller? I know there are ways to do that with adapters as such, but they need updating and all that, and not everyone can be bothered to do that. Like most gamers on the channel, I know that people that are viewing it generally would want to pick up and play controller for their console. So what have they come up with to find something similar to this? We have Hori Onyx controller. This is the wireless controller by Onyx, and it's for the PS4. And as you can see from the picture, it is the exact same design of the Xbox One controller. So this is going to be a quick unboxing and review of the controller for the PlayStation 4. For the PS4, this is a Bluetooth wireless Onyx Hori officially licensed controller, and it's not going to be like the Nacon ones as well, but if you have a look at the pictures, they're the ones that I've also had the option of buying, but I chose to buy this because I preferred the wireless option, and that's one of the features I was looking for. So let's quickly go and review this and give you some close-ups, and let's see what you guys like about it, and let's see how it does. Drop the intro, guys. Sorry about the jump cut there, guys. So here we have the Hori Onyx PS4 controller. I'm going to just unbox it now, and let's have a look at how it looks like, how it compares to the rest. I've got three over here, three officially licensed, three awesome controllers right here. As you can see, I've got the Xbox One, I've got the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, and I've got the PS4 Pro, the PS4 controller over there, and they all have their own perks, but I have always been looking for an Xbox style controller. I'm just so glad that Nintendo Switch went for the option. How the hell do you get this out? I'm just glad that Nintendo chose to go with the Xbox style layout rather than the PS4 style layout, because I personally just love the comfort and the size of that. Whereas I find this a bit more cramped, and obviously I got fairly medium sized to big hands, so I find that it's a bit more cramped. Whereas this one is just it's just a dream to hold. It's just perfect. I think it fits everything nicely. The layout design, I love the fact that the joystick's on the left, and wasn't always a fan of the joystick being towards the middle, and obviously the D-pad being split on the PS4 controller, so wasn't always a fan of that. So anyway, let's have a quick look. So we got instructions over here. That's about it. Put that aside, and have a look at the controller itself. So this is literally it, you guys can see, and that's the back. You've got a nice little texture there, and the triggers are very similar to the Xbox. So I'll first compare it to the PlayStation controller. Okay, and then that's the top and the bottom. As you can see, there is no phone jack, microphone jack, 3.5mm jack for the microphone, so that's a bit annoying. I've got a solution for that, by the way. A Bluetooth receiver. Pick up one of these, and you can literally just attach that to your normal microphone that you normally use, using a 3.5 to 3.5 adapter, and you can just literally just connect that to the PS4 Bluetooth, or you can use a Bluetooth headset, and you can use it that way to connect to the voice chat. So you don't have to use, or you don't have to have a jack there to actually connect to the microphone. So that's my alternative for that. Now the only concern that I had, the back, the only concern that I had was the fact that, I mean, I love the way the positioning is. It's pretty much exactly the same as a as an Xbox One layout, as you can see there. The button location is wicked, the D-pad's good. I think the weight of it is a bit lighter than the PS4 controller. Definitely a lot lighter than the Nintendo Switch controller. Let's quickly just show you guys how it looks like with the Nintendo Switch controller side by side. That's the front. You can see the layout is pretty much the same. Here are the triggers underneath, and then the reverse. Okay, so if you look at all of the way they have designed it, it's pretty much, yeah, I mean it's pretty much an Xbox One layout, as you can see. But I find that the circle button is one of the main things that I needed to look at, because I found that it does slant a bit. I hate the fact that they can't fit the molding to allow the circle button to be flush. Like this is a flush button right there. As you can see, it's got a circle plate there that keeps it flush. I'm really annoyed that that sort of curves. So you can see that the circle button here doesn't curve, but that one does. So whether that will bug me or not, yet to be seen. But the reason why I waited for it at the end of the day was that, unlike the Nacon and other Pro controller that's available, you'll see pictures of it here. There was two options. The Nacon one was the one that the PS4 Pro controller that was officially licensed by Sony. They didn't have the wireless option. They were both cabled. I mean, come on, we're 2017, we're 2018 now, guys. So you can't have a controller without with just the cable connection. I just find that to be very annoying. It will come in the way, and definitely what I was looking for was the Pro controller style version. And again, I mean, I wasn't looking for all the options that the Nacon controller and the other one comes with. They have all these additional triggers and stuff like that to customize it software wise, to change the balance of the buttons and all that. I'm not bothered about that. If I pick up a first person shooter, I'm gonna play it just as it is. I don't want to go too much into customization. I find it a bit too much to deal with, and I find that it will be a lot of customization that will actually, to me, it will prevent me from just picking up and playing essentially. So I prefer the simplicity of just having a normal controller. So I didn't want to pay any extra to have that luxury of having all that software built in, additional triggers at the back and all that stuff to do customizable buttons. So this is why I didn't go for those options. This is, when this got released, I was absolutely over the moon. I just thought this is the perfect one for me to get my PS4 controller to look like an Xbox One controller and have the exact sort of reliability as well, and the comfort. And the button layout, the D-pad was on point. I just felt that it has a plus rather than the split D-pad. The only thing I can see that the triggers, there's a lot more give on the official controllers. These ones have a lot more travel, I would say. These ones a bit less, the triggers, but I feel that they're a bit spongy. The R buttons, the L button, not too bad. I think they're pretty much the same. A lot more clicky on this, on the Xbox controller, but yeah, I think they're similar. Now, these are obviously digital analogs buttons, but triggers and stuff, but I find that it probably feels a bit more like the Pro controller for the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, but these triggers are definitely, you can tell that they are a bit more plasticky, a bit more on the cheaper side probably. Probably not as good as obviously the makes of these, but I find that the triggers are very spongy. It can be a bit annoying. But the main issue is the C button. I mean the circle button, and I want to see if I won't find it annoying. Essentially, I want to see if the bend of it is too much for me to get annoyed with, because I like it to be flush. Look at the Switch's controller. You see the way the A button is set there is that completely straight, regardless of the fact that it doesn't even bend that much, but they definitely raised it so that it's the same level as the other face buttons. But I noticed that the Xbox One controller didn't do that. They actually slanted it slightly. We'll see as a comparison right there. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot more slanted than the other one. But yeah, I'll see if that bugs me too much in the future. But yeah, it's a good controller, nice D-pad. You got the option buttons and the share button towards the middle there, so more like the Xbox One layout rather than having it on the sides here, which is really annoying. I can find that as I'm pressing the moves over here, I end up accidentally pressing this, it was just squashed in the share and the option button, which I find that really annoying. You've got the Type-C charger at the top. Sorry, the Type micro SD, the micro USB type charger at the top, and you've got rumble in this as well, so rumble's built in and everything. The click of the joysticks, I think the joysticks are really good, very comfortable. I'd say they're probably a little bit very similar to the Xbox One's joysticks, but yeah, definitely a really cool, awesome alternative if you guys want to play with the Hori Pro Star controller. This is the alternative Bluetooth variation that was released just recently, only in the UK I believe. And yeah, they've got the PlayStation button, home button there, and they've got the touch button, which is basically just a button for the touchpad. It does actually do the touch functions, but it's got built-in rumble as well, so that's cool. Anyway guys, and they've got the light there, by the way. That's the little light that they use. There's no sensor light bar. Anyway guys, that's the unboxing of the Hori Onyx Ps4 alternative controller. If you really like an Xbox One Star controller, definitely pick up something like this. The circle button is a bit on the side slanted, which is a bit annoying, but other than that, I think it's a really good controller. And it gives it a bit more space and comfort. The layout, I prefer the layout on this compared to the PS4's layout. It's better for me because I prefer playing with the joystick, especially for most of my games, as well as fighting games as well. The split D-pad, you've got a full-size D-pad there, so good to have that. Yeah, there's no speaker, by the way, so there's no microphone for you to come out, sound to come out from, but that's a small thing. Anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, take care guys, this is Mac. Peace out.